Everyone, my name is Oluwagbemiga Olowosoyo, and today's date is 1st July 2023. On 23rd of May 2023, I gave a prophetic word to Nigeria when I flagged on the new Nigeria. There was an error in the message because I proclaimed that the second will become the first and insinuated that Professor Osinbajo, who was the vice president then, will become the first president of the new Nigeria. I'm sorry, that was an error.
Welcome to the moment of truth. Pastor Olowosoyo has come out to apologize to Nigerian for giving a prophecy that Osinbajo will be the president of Nigeria. I give it to him. A lot of pastors said a lot of things about Nigerians and it didn't come to pass and about other things, but they will never come out to say sorry that they got it wrong. In his own case, I actually understand why he actually wanted Osinbajo. That is what his spirit wanted. And sometimes God will give us the idea of our hearts. And sometimes God will just ignore you and let it slide. And when God is not saying anything, you will think he has given you what you wanted. If I wanted Osinbajo as well, not because Osinbajo is a Christian, because Osinbajo is not a Christian. Osinbajo is not a Christian. He's one of the occults in Nigeria, but he will have done it well, better. And if God had allowed them to give Osinbajo tickets, they didn't give him a ticket at all because they know if they made that mistake and giving him a ticket, he will win. Nigeria will vote for him. So they did not give him a ticket at all. So, and because if Osinbajo win, the glory will go to Adeboye. We will not hear word again. And how can God allow someone that he has rejected to now take his glory again? And Obi that's supposed to win, that everybody wanted, and God said, okay, I will give you what you want. Obi then made a mistake. He now go and join himself to idols. And God said, okay, you're on your own. So for this man to have come out and apologize, I really applaud. He has done this. I've experienced this man. This is the second time I'm experiencing this man. The first time he did the same thing and he was wrong. I have his contact and I told him, I break it down to him. He said he was sorry. He said he lives in a remote area in Nigeria. So they have limited access to internet. So he did not do his research well on these people before he came out to endorse them. So he said he was sorry. And everybody was bashing him and all that. So this is the second time. This man, each time he gets it wrong, he will come out and apologize. And I think he deserves applause. Stay tuned and hear what he said to the end and his reason. And one of them that is in prison now, that jump on his own Pastor Gbenga's prophecy, he said the same thing. But he came out now. He's in prison. He's still in prison. And he said because he said that, that's why they put him in prison. They didn't put you in prison, Feyi Daniels, because of that. They put you in prison because you defy girls. And God exposed you. That's what we are saying about all these Nigerian pastors. Stay tuned and hear him till the end. And I need your comment in the comment section.
The following day, while I was on my yearly retreat, God called my attention to the error, but I could not retract it then because I was too busy with my retreat. It was a maximum retreat. And when the swearing in took place, I got much reactions from people who were asking me to respond, or because God engaged me on the retreat. I could not respond then. Once again, I'm sorry about that. Let me explain what happened. Is it that Osibajo sinned? No, I don't know about that. And I don't need to vilify the man because of this. He is a good man. The error was mine. My emotions and desires got involved with the information God gave me. Let me explain. For those who have listened to all my prophetic messages, you remember that was not the first time I said Osibajo would be president. In the fourth message to Nigeria, I said it. And that one was not an error. It was correct at that time. But this second time, it was wrong because the plan had changed. Unfortunately, I forgot that most of the messages God gave to me were judgments on people who could still find mercy from God. For instance, the president at that time, Buhari, was meant to die in office, and his vice was to replace him. That was a judgment against Buhari, and Osibajo's presidency will have just been a fallout on that. But somehow, Buhari found mercy with God, and Osibajo's presidency became obsolete. Let me explain that. I'm just a messenger given an assignment to warn people against judgment that God intended to bring upon them. And I feel highly honored that most of the people my messages were meant for had and sought God, and they found mercy. That was the essence of my prophecy. Again, you need to understand that God is merciful, and He does not desire that a sinner will perish in his sins. And as soon as He notices repentance in the person involved, He will forgive. And after such, the beginning of the new Nigeria that I prophesied, and I got excited with the possibility of having a very educated man of integrity coming on board. To worsen my situation, APC chose Tinubu as their candidate, and it also chose another Muslim as his vice. You remember that there are several allegations of drug pushing, corruption, and even bloodshed against Tinubu, and even Boko Haram involvement against his vice. All this affected my judgment, and I decided that God was against their option and stuck to my original prophecy. Meanwhile, when I was praying for Nigeria, as I often do, and brought Tinubu up, God told me to pray for his salvation. I did, but I was praying for him to get saved before passing away, because I was too decided that he should pass on. As a matter of fact, I was wondering why God asked me to pray for his salvation when he should just die and go to hell. And God left me to continue in my error because I was bent on my own opinion. Of course, Peter Obi was not a subject on my table because God had explained to me originally that I will use APC to form the government, and the new president will create the enabling environment for other better leaders to emerge after him. What I could not imagine was that God would pick a seemingly dirty person to rule a new Nigeria. That was my error. I played God. And I already discussed my error with God. I need you to forgive my error. Please forgive me.
I hope you all learned something from Pastor Olowosoyo. It was a pure desire of a human being, and because he knows he's connected to God, he thought he can tell God whatever, but God has his own mind. God will never allow anything that close to Oyedepo, Adeboye, or all the boastful pastors to rule Nigeria, because they will take the glory. So the man makes a pure, a genuine error, and he has come out to apologize to Nigeria. Thank you, my people, for listening. I see you on my next video. Bye for now. And if you think I'm not hard enough on him, let me know in the comment section. Bye for now.